When is a parent born? When your world changes in a moment? Nani? Or when the moment is celebrated by all? When you start learning again? Or with a new role? Is it your child's first breath? Or is it just a feeling? Parents are born when they fulfill a responsibility.
Your child's umbilical cord blood can provide protection from 80 life-threatening diseases. Keep it safe with Asia's largest stem cell bank, Cord Life. One chance, one choice.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mangesh Mankar. Welcome you all for this session of pregnancy care and well-being. We'll be taking care of this information for you trimester-wise. I represent Cord Life. Cord Life is a stem cell bank. Basically, we preserve umbilical cord blood and umbilical cord tissue of a newborn baby, and that contains potential stem cell. These stem cells are useful for treating life-threatening infection problems, life-threatening disorders in future. So these stem cells are very pure, naive. They are highly efficacious compared to other source of stem cell. These stem cells are preserved only at the time of birth. So therefore, there is only one chance to store this, and therefore there is a planning done during pregnancy for storing these stem cells at the time of birth of the baby. So please do take a presentation regarding stem cell banking also whenever you have time. Nowadays, the presentation is given online through apps like Zoom, Google Meet, or WhatsApp call also we can arrange. So please do take a presentation about stem cell banking. Today's session is associated with Cord Life and Sai Snehadeep Hospital in Koperkerne, Navi Mumbai. Sai Snehadeep Hospital has given us this opportunity to get in touch with the patients as well as the expecting parents. So thank you so much to the management of Sai Snehadeep Hospital. So I'll hand over this session to Sonali ma'am. She will give you all the information regarding pregnancy care. Please do attend it carefully and also follow the instructions for your well-being. Thank you so much. Over to you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you so much, Mangesh. Hi, mothers. Very, very warm welcome for joining us this morning for a session on pregnancy care. I would like to start with saying a thank you to Dr. Rekha Kaushal and Dr. Shweta Upadhyay from Sai Snehadeep Hospital. Thank you, ma'ams, for giving us the opportunity to speak to all the mothers. This platform has been organized by Cord Life, which is one of India's leading stem cell banks. Even in this pandemic, when aapke liye for you to attend classes and all is so difficult and it's impossible actually. Everybody is telling you to be careful, be careful, be careful. This opportunity is available. This is a possibility. So thank you for that. Thank you for taking the initiative. And I think it was one of the earliest initiatives. Right from the month of April, we have been doing webinars for pregnant families with Cord Life. So that's amazing. Thank you so much. I'll do a little quick introduction on myself. My name is Sonali Shivlani. I'm from Mumbai. I'm a pregnancy and postnatal consultant. I've been practicing since 2004. So almost 17 years. I've become ancient in this field. That's what I call myself. I have worked with more than 35,000 families through workshops, through classes, through personal consultations. And more about that maybe towards the end of the session. But on a personal note, I also have 2 kids. So I also like to tell a lot of stories. And the topic of today, trimester-wise care during pregnancy means a lot of examples and a lot of stories. So I'm sure that, it will be very helpful. It's a long session. We are going to be together for almost 1.5 hours. So one of the recommendations would be to kind of, make sure that you're comfortable, relaxed, keep a bottle of water. If you've not eaten your breakfast, make sure that you have some healthy snacks available right there in front of you so that you can, start eating if you feel hungry. And you've been kept on mute right now. I mean, you won't be able to speak during the session. So once the session starts, if you have any questions, there is a question box. So please put all your questions there. At the end of the session, this session is being recorded. So we will be sharing the recording link with you after 48 to 72 hours. The COD-Life team will get in touch with you to give you the recording link. And there is a small gift also for all of you mothers. So I hope you stay through till the end of the session and enjoy everything. I'm going to give you 1 or 2 minutes to just get your bottle of water, to kind of make yourself comfortable, grab a lot of pillows. If your husband would like to attend, have him join you so that, both of you can, learn all about pregnancy care over the next 9 months, right? So just 2 minutes and we will get started with the main topic of the day. All right. So are we all set and ready to talk about the most important time of your pregnancy, of your life, of your baby? I mean, these 9 months are so special because what you are doing is making a new life. You are going to become a mother. It's one of the most important roles that we play in our lives. Pregnancy, we divide actually into 4 trimesters. Right, the first, second, third, and the fourth trimester also, which we call the postnatal recovery phase. Now, each of these trimesters can bring in different changes in your body. मतलब अलग-अलग changes आते हैं हर trimester में, and कुछ ऐसे complaints और discomforts होते हैं जो all the 9 months भी चल सकते हैं. कभी-कभी ऐसा होता है कि कुछ चीजें स्टार्टिंग में, बिगनिंग में आपको एक्सपीरियंस होती हैं, जैसे नोशिया है, फीलिंग ऑफ वॉमिटिंग है, और वो फिर डिसअपियर हो जाती है. कुछ मदर्स को ये फीलिंग बाद में भी होती है, जैसे थ्रू आउट प्रेगनेंसी, फुल 9 months, एंड सम मदर्स टेक अ ब्रेक. सेकेंड ट्राइमेस्टर में ब्रेक आ जाता है एंड देन फिर दोबारा से 9th month में अगेन द फीलिंग ऑफ नोशिया एंड एटसेट्रा कैन कम बैक. So these are some things which are normal and common and expected. So I understand कि आप में से कोई already second या third trimester में होंगे, and you must be thinking, why should I listen about the first trimester? But as I told you, that कुछ changes ऐसी होती हैं जो starting में होती हैं और दोबारा भी हो सकती हैं. They can happen again. And इस वजह से we should always ensure कि आप ये जो फर्स्ट ट्राइमेस्टर की इंफॉर्मेशन है वो भी आप सुन लें, बिकॉज हो सकता है कि इसमें से कुछ इश्यूज आपको आगे चल के टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ प्रेगनेंसी भी दोबारा महसूस हो जाए. अब पहली बात तो होती है पॉजिटिव प्रेगनेंसी न्यूज. आई थिंक वो द डे जब आपको वो डाउट आया कि मेंस्ट्रुअल पीरियड मिस हुआ है, आपके हस्बैंड ने या आपने केमिस्ट से, फार्मेसी से होम प्रेगनेंसी टेस्ट किट ले लिया, एंड यू डन द स्टिक टेस्ट, द यूरिन टेस्ट एट home, and you saw those 2 lines and you were excited. I'm sure I think at that moment what you were feeling, what you thought, the feelings and emotions that came in your heart, you will remember forever. Right? After this, you have scheduled an antenatal checkup, which is very important, because along with your home pregnancy test, it is important that the doctor also does a full checkup, so that if there is anything which is lacking in your body, if there is something which needs to be addressed, it can be taken care of. यहाँ पे एक रूटीन ब्लड टेस्ट और स्कैन किया जाता है. इससे प्रेगनेंसी की पॉजिटिव कॉन्फर्मेशन होती है. समटाइम्स द होम प्रेगनेंसी टेस्ट कैन बी either we get a false positive or a false negative. If the pregnancy is positive, then the doctor will suggest blood test for iron, sugar, and thyroid. Along with that, in the same sample, they will also test for infectious diseases like HIV, hepatitis, etc. These are very important tests, because अगर इनमें से अगर कहीं पर आप positive हो, तो ये pregnancy को बहुत harm कर सकता है. And even though you might feel that, oh, I am absolutely fine, there's no problem, Why is the doctor checking for these things? It is important because it affects the fetus. Along with this, the doctor will also do a marker screen. Now, there are different types of markers. When we say double marker, triple marker, or quadruple marker, basically it means that in the blood test, we are checking for either 2, 3, or 4 different hormones. Now, these hormones is what shows the overall well-being of the baby. अगर बेबी को कोई बर्थ डिफेक्ट है, कोई एबनॉर्मैलिटी है, तो ये मार्कर्स का टेस्ट करने से we can figure it out. प्रेगनेंसी के दौरान कुछ चेंजेस होती हैं एंड कुछ फिजिकल चेंजेस आपको फर्स्ट ट्राइमेस्टर से ही शुरू हो जाती है एंड ये फुल 9 months आपको कंटिन्यू हो सकती है. सो फर्स्ट इज फ्रीक्वेंट यूरिनेशन. अभी many times mothers are very surprised कि oh, I've just gotten pregnant, my uterus is so small, why do I need to go to the bathroom so often? This is normal because hormonal changes also relax the bladder. So you will start feeling the urge to go to the bathroom more often, and this is very normal. If the urination feeling is coming every 10-15 minutes, then it could be a urinary infection. But otherwise, if it is 1.5 hours, then it is quite normal. The most annoying is especially when you're sleeping. So in the night, I know you should be drinking water, but complete your water intake. You know, the 10-12 glasses that you're supposed to have during the day. And closer to bedtime, just have small sips of water. Don't hold urine because that, you know, when you wait, okay, I'll go after some time, that can weaken your bladder and it can also cause your urinary tract infection. Feeling tired, feeling exhausted is also very common right in the beginning of pregnancy. I think for me, myself, one of the first signs that I had was that I used to fall asleep on the couch in the evening at 5 o'clock, which never happens to me. Right? I'm always generally quite bright and perky. If I wake up in the morning at 7:30, I'm all bright till 10:30, 11 in the night. But during pregnancy, as soon as that pregnancy started, and maybe I had not even done a pregnancy test, this was the sign that I had that I used to fall asleep every evening without fail, right? Lower back pain also starts off during the first trimester. And this is hormonal in nature. Sometimes what happens is we are also more protective of our pregnancy. So we may, you know, have a little bit of lower back pain, ligament pulls, etc. right in the beginning. Another change that happens in your body and will continue from the beginning of pregnancy till week 35 is breast changes. So the nipple becomes more sensitive, the areola becomes darker and larger, and overall the breasts feel a little more touch-me-nots. And sometimes wearing a bra also might be very uncomfortable. The size of the bra is going to keep changing. So please don't buy multiple bras. You know, just buy 2, to get through the first few days, few weeks, because your size will keep changing. Some mothers might change from a cup size B to a cup size C. The strap size might also change. So you will require multiple sizes throughout your pregnancy. Nausea is a very common early pregnancy symptom, but it also may not happen. And, you know, for me, I mean, personal example, right? I was very lucky. I had no nausea, but there was one trigger. If I would smell prawns, I would feel that, oh my God, I need to throw up. So the only simple rule for me was, let's just not bring prawns at home, right? Let's just stay away from prawns. Everything else is fine. So nausea can have triggers, whether in smell, in food, in taste. So be aware of your triggers. Maybe you can reduce the nausea sensation, right? Sometimes nausea does not happen at all, like in my case, and people start telling you, hey, are you normal? Just check with your doctor. Maybe there's something wrong with your pregnancy. But that's not true. Nausea does not mean that the pregnancy is normal. No, nausea does not mean that the pregnancy is not normal. Some of the things which do help is having dry carbs. So a cracker or a piece of toast or a piece of roti All of these can be very helpful in controlling your feeling of nausea. If you are vomiting continuously and you cannot eat or drink anything, then you should immediately let your doctor know, because then some medications can be prescribed. Don't worry, these medications are completely safe for you and your baby. So whatever prescribed by the doctor, discussed with the doctor, you can take safely. There are some myths also, right? Pregnancy, however, brings in all of these things. The moment you see that pea stick, you want to announce your good news to the world. I wanted to, right? And this is excitement. But everyone around you tells you that wait till 12 weeks, because otherwise you will bring yourself and your baby bad luck. This is a myth. But the reality is that, 26% of pregnancies are not viable. So pregnancy happens, but the embryo that is formed is not in the right state. And due to that, the body automatically says that, oh, this is not viable, doesn't make sense to continue, let's have a spontaneous abortion. So it happens. Now, if something like this happens, you've already shared the news, then you have to go around sharing that, oh, sorry, I think, I had a miscarriage. So that is something which people are afraid of, and that's what the elders don't want you to share. A lot of times mothers are craving sweet or sour foods, and everyone around you is trying to predict the gender of the baby. I think prediction of the gender of the baby is connected with so many things, isn't it? But right in the beginning, the mothers are starting to ask for certain types of foods, and that is also a myth. You cannot predict the sex of the baby based on your cravings. And all these cravings happen because of some or the other nutritional deficiency. Let me give you an example. So most mothers nowadays are so conscious. They don't, eat too much of sweets. They are conscious of their weight and etc. So when they become pregnant, it's just a very common feeling that, oh, now I can eat everything. So they start eating more of sweets because it feels normal to them. Some mothers may have an iron deficiency, and therefore they start craving sour foods, because these sour foods are generally rich in vitamin C and they will help to absorb iron. So this is very common as a nutritional deficiency, but not to predict the gender of your baby. Let's talk a little bit about the second trimester. This is what's going to happen in the second trimester. The first thing that you have is the anomaly scan. Now, this is a fun scan because it's a nice and long scan. The doctor is going to take about 30 minutes. It's an ultrasound. The doctor will take about 30 minutes, half an hour. And इसमें आपको आपके बेबी का हर एक पार्ट दिखाएंगे, जैसे फेस, आईज, फीचर्स भी समझ में आ जाते हैं. And it's amazing. It's really good fun. But कई बार ऐसा होता है कि babies are sleeping and वो टर्न नहीं करते, they are facing the mother's back, और टर्न नहीं करते, मूव नहीं करते, तो डॉक्टर को स्कैन करने के लिए डिफिकल्टी हो जाती है एंड आपको दोबारा बुलाया जाता है. या डॉक्टर का तो काम हो जाता है, मतलब उनको जो चेक करना होता है, लेकिन आपको वो जो मुंह दिखाई होती है ना बेबी की, वो नहीं मिलती. यू डोंट गेट टू सी द बेबीज फेस. सो व्हाट आई वुड सजेस्ट, अगर आपका एनोमली स्कैन ड्यू है तो मॉर्निंग में स्कैन से जाने से पहले एक ग्लास कुछ स्वीट जूस या ऐसे कुछ ले लें. एंड अगर आपका मतलब शुगर वगैरह सब नॉर्मल है तो, नहीं तो डॉक्टर मुझे बहुत डांटेंगे कि आप शुगरी चीजें खिला दे रहे हो. बट मे बी थोड़ी सी चॉकलेट पेस्ट्री या स्वीट जूस आप ले लेंगे तो आप हाफ एन आवर बिफोर द स्कैन, तो जनरली आपके शुगर लेवल्स बढ़ जाते हैं और बेबी इज मोर अलर्ट, मोर अवेक एंड किकिंग अराउंड. So you'll be able to see, आंखें बंद, खोल, all of those lovely movements you will get to see. So definitely try that for your this. The next thing that is going to happen is a glucose tolerance test. तो अब नॉर्मल शुगर टेस्ट जो था वो फास्टिंग पोस्ट मील वाला पहले कर लिया है. Now this is a more detailed sugar test, जिसको हम ग्लूकोज टॉलरेंस टेस्ट बोलते हैं. इसमें आपके शुगर लेवल्स आफ्टर टेकिंग पर्टिकुलर अमाउंट ऑफ ग्लूकोज मॉनिटर किया जाता है. ये 3 बार किया जाता है. सॉरी, तो जब आप ये टेस्ट करवाते हो आपके बॉडी की इंसुलिन लेवल्स और ग्लूकोज टॉलरेंस लेवल्स समझ में आ जाती है. And this is very important for pregnancy, so don't skip the test. Your doctor might also एक्चुअली विल ऑल्सो एवरी मंथ जब आप विजिट के लिए जाते हो आपका ब्लड प्रेशर, वेट चेक वगैरह सब चेक कर लेंगे। एंड ये भी आपको रेगुलरली चेक कराते रहना चाहिए। अभी करेंटली बिकॉज ऑफ कोविड हम काफी टाइम डॉक्टर की विजिट्स फोन पे कर लेते हैं, सब ठीक है तो वी आर नॉट विजिटिंग द डॉक्टर, बट ब्लड प्रेशर एंड वेट चेक ऑन अ रेगुलर बेसिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। बिकॉज अगर ब्लड प्रेशर बढ़ जाएगा तो देयर इज अ गुड पॉसिबिलिटी कि दूसरे कॉम्प्लिकेशंस भी हो सकते हैं। फ्लू शॉट आजकल हम प्रेग्नेंट मदर्स को डॉक्टर्स रेकमेंड कर रहे हैं बिकॉज सिंस फ्लू इज इन द सीजन एंड कोविड और फ्लू में सिम्टम्स बहुत कॉमन होते हैं, तो लॉट ऑफ डॉक्टर्स आर रेकमेंडिंग कि फ्लू शॉट शुड बी टेकन ड्यूरिंग प्रेगनेंसी इन द सेकेंड ट्राइमेस्टर। अब फिजिकल चेंजेस भी कुछ होती हैं सेकेंड ट्राइमेस्टर में, जैसे ग्रोइंग वेट, आपके यूट्रिस का वेट बढ़ रहा है। अब आप प्रेगनेंसी छुपा नहीं सकते हो, यू कैन हाइड योर प्रेगनेंसी, एवरीवन कैन सी दैट यूर प्रेग्नेंट। अगर आपने ऑफिस वगैरह में बताया नहीं है तो अब बताने का टाइम आ गया है। बट ऑफ कोर्स अगर हम ऑनलाइन काम कर रहे हैं तो किसी को पता नहीं चलेगा बिकॉज द स्टमक इज नॉट विजिबल। नॉशिया वगैरह सेटल हो जाता है, सो एपेटाइट आपकी बढ़ जाती है and you are able to eat better. So suddenly आपको foods and drinks वगैरह सब अच्छे लगने लगते हैं and cravings जो है वो tastes वगैरह के हिसाब से अब और increase हो जाती है। Energy levels are higher, जैसे as I told you first trimester बहुत tiredness होती है, ऐसे लगता है बस सो जाए, अब energy better है। So हम ये second trimester को actually happy trimester भी बोलते हैं। इस टाइम पर आपको अपने posture के बारे में बहुत ध्यान देना चाहिए बिकॉज पोस्चर की वजह से बैक एक वगैरह होने के चांसेस ज्यादा है। ये आपको पोस्चर के बारे में दिखा देती हूँ। अगर आप पोस्चर देखेंगे, जो राइट हैंड साइड पे लेडी है वो जिस तरह से खड़ी है उसका बैक पे बहुत प्रेशर आ रहा है, राइट। सो फुल उसका एब्डोमेन जैसे वेट इंक्रीज होता है, दिस इज व्हाट हैपेंस एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट ये जो कर्वेचर है ये उसका बढ़ गया है। सो प्रेगनेंसी के टाइम पे जब आप बैठते हो, स्टैंड करते हो, कुछ भी करते हो, आपको इरेक्ट रहना चाहिए, अपने बैक को आपको स्ट्रेट रखना चाहिए एंड जैसे हो सके अपने शोल्डर्स को थोड़ा इस तरह पुश बैक करिए ताकि आपका जो वेट ऑफ द चेस्ट इज ऑल्सो नॉट कॉजिंग बैक पेन प्रॉब्लम। सो टेक वेरी गुड केयर ऑफ योर प्रेगनेंसी posture because 80% of the time, and I'm very serious, 80% of the time जो प्रेगनेंसी सेकेंड ट्राइमेस्टर onwards जो बैक पेन होता है, it is due to the posture. It is not due to anything else. So if you can take care of your posture, it will help you to prevent a lot of back problems during your pregnancy. ये बैटरी का posture है, अगर आप देखते हैं तो जो woman on the left उसने वो slouch कर रही है, उसने अपने आप को erect नहीं रखा है, उसने full back support नहीं लिया है, but जो lady right पे है उसने full back support ले लिया है एंड इस वजह से उसको बैक पेन भी कम होगा। तो जो भी स्पेशली खास करके आप अगर वर्किंग पेरेंट हैं, आप काम पे आपको डेस्क पे लैपटॉप पे बहुत बैठना पड़ता है, तो आपको सही से सपोर्ट लेके बैठना चाहिए। अगर आप टीवी वगैरह भी देखते हैं तो स्लाउच ना करें, पिलोस रख लीजिए पीछे, लोअर बैक को अच्छे से सपोर्ट कर दीजिए ताकि आपको बैक पेन प्रॉब्लम ना हो। अब बात करते हैं खाने पीने की, राइट। सेकेंड ट्राइमेस्टर से हम खाने पीने के बारे में थोड़ी बहुत बातें कर सकते हैं क्योंकि अब आपको खाने का शायद मन हो रहा होगा। कई बार मदर्स मुझसे ये क्वेश्चन पूछती है कि फर्स्ट ट्राइमेस्टर में तो मैंने बराबर से खाया नहीं, इज इट ओके, इज इट सेफ फॉर माय बेबी? And my answer generally is yes, it's fine because our body also keeps some reserves. कुछ reserves हम अपनी body में वैसे भी रखते हैं and because of that, it is very okay for the first trimester. अगर आप बिल्कुल भी कुछ नहीं खा सकते हो तो then you should consult your doctor. But अगर आप कुछ चीजें खा रहे हो, you can hold certain foods, certain liquids, then it's absolutely okay in the first trimester. The diet is not perfect. But second trimester onwards, आपके पास कोई एक्सक्यूज नहीं है बिकॉज आपकी बॉडी की जो रिजर्व्स है वो तो खत्म हो गए। अब आपको अपने आप को भी नरिश करना है, अपने आप को भी हेल्दी रखना है, अपने बेबी के लिए भी आपको सही डाइट लेना है। इसीलिए वी टॉक अबाउट फूड, न्यूट्रिशन एटसेट्रा फ्रॉम द सेकेंड ट्राइमेस्टर ऑनवर्ड्स। जो आपकी हेल्थी ईटिंग हैबिट्स हैं वो सिर्फ आपके बेबी के लिए नहीं है बट आपके लिए भी है, बिकॉज इवेंचुअली इट्स योर बॉडी विच इज द होस्ट विच इज कैरिंग द बेबी। एंड सीधी सी बात है, अगर आप सही खाएंगे तो आपका पूरा परिवार सही खाएगा। तो अगर आपकी हैबिट्स अच्छी हैं तो फुल फैमिली की हैबिट्स ऑटोमेटिकली अच्छी हो जाएंगी। प्रेगनेंसी में हमारा बोलना है कि आपको 300 एक्स्ट्रा कैलोरीज की जरूरत पड़ती है। अब 300 एक्स्ट्रा कैलोरीज का क्या मतलब होता है? 2 रोटी, 1 कटोरी सब्जी, 1 ग्लास दूध, ये होती है 300 एक्स्ट्रा कैलोरीज थ्रू आउट 24 आवर्स। प्रेगनेंसी का मतलब ये नहीं है दैट यू हैव टू ईट double. Normally I eat 2 rotis, now I'm going to eat 4 rotis. Normally I eat 1 chocolate cake, now I'm going to eat 2 chocolate cakes. ऐसा नहीं होता, right? And ज्यादा खाना है, that's also not necessary for a single pregnancy. बस इतना ही extra आपको करना है from the second trimester onwards. Breastfeeding के time पे भी the same requirement is there, 300 to 500 extra calories. अभी बेबी स्टमक के अंदर है, डिलीवरी के बाद बेबी का जो न्यूट्रिशन है वो आपके ब्रेस्ट से होगा। सो इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट कि आपकी डाइट उस समय भी सही रहे। लोगों को पता तो होता है, एवरीवन नोज कि व्हाट इज हेल्दी। जैसे मैंने रोटी, सब्जी, दूध बोला, चॉकलेट केक बोला, तो आपको पता है कि रोटी, सब्जी, दूध हेल्दी है, चॉकलेट केक हेल्दी नहीं है, आपको मालूम है। आई डोंट हैव टू टीच यू दैट। बट जो बैलेंस्ड मील्स का कॉन्सेप्ट है ये काफी लोगों को नहीं पता। अगर मैं आपको एग्जांपल दूं दैट ओके, चलिए आपने रोटी और सब्जी खा ली डिनर में, इज दैट हेल्दी? आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ यू विल आंसर यस इट इज हेल्दी। बट मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि इज इट बैलेंस्ड? एंड द आंसर इज नो। सो जो डाइट होती है वो हमेशा बैलेंस्ड होनी चाहिए, स्पेशली आपके मेन मील्स के लिए, ब्रेकफास्ट, लंच और डिनर। जब भी आप ब्रेकफास्ट, लंच और डिनर बनाते हो आप अपने हाथ को आगे करते हो, राइट? एंड आपके हाथ में 5 उंगलियां हैं। आपके डाइट में भी, ब्रेकफास्ट, लंच और डिनर में भी 5 पदार्थ, 5 आइटम्स होने चाहिए, राइट? अब 5 आइटम्स आप कैसे डालोगे? लेट्स स्टार्ट। पहले आप डालोगे कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स, तो मे बी मैं रोटी, राइस, ये सारी चीजें डाल सकती हूँ। जो भी मैं ग्रेन सिलेक्ट करती हूँ दे शुड बी एब्सोल्युटली अनरिफाइंड। सो आप गेहूं की रोटी बना लीजिए, जवर की रोटी बना लीजिए, बाजरा की रोटी बना लीजिए, ब्राउन राइस ले लीजिए, सो दैट बिकम्स योर फर्स्ट आइटम ऑन योर प्लेट। दूसरी चीज आप सब्जी डालोगे। अब वेजिटेबल्स आर लिटरली वेजिटेबल्स, सो जैसे गोभी, भिंडी, परवल, दूधी, दीज आर ऑल वेजिटेबल्स। तो सेकेंड आइटम आपको वेजिटेबल्स डालने हैं। थर्ड आइटम जो आप अपने प्लेट में डालोगे वो होगी आपके पल्सेस, लेग्यूम्स या मीट्स। तो अगर आप नॉन वेजिटेरियन खाते हो तो आप चिकन, फिश वगैरह ले सकते हैं। अगर आप वेजिटेरियन खाते हैं तो यहाँ पे आप अपनी दाल या छोले, राजमा, वटाना, ये सारी चीजें डालोगे। स्प्राउट्स वगैरह भी आप यहाँ पे ले सकते हो। अब यहाँ पे कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है, राइट? सम पीपल मेक राजमा और स्प्राउट्स गीली सब्जी समझ के दे कॉल इट अ वेजिटेबल, बट इट्स नॉट अ वेजिटेबल, इट्स अ प्रोटीन। तो ये आपकी थर्ड फिंगर हो जाती है। चौथी चीज जो आपको अपने मील में लेनी है वो होती है कैल्शियम की आइटम। तो कैल्शियम की आइटम आप दही, लस्सी, दूध, ये सारी चीजें आप अपने डाइट में इंक्लूड कर सकते हो। या अगर आपने पनीर बनाया है तो पनीर की सब्जी भी इसमें इंक्लूड हो जाती है, राइट? अब कई बार होता है कि बहुत ज्यादा नहीं खा सकते, तो हाउ कैन वी मेक कॉम्बिनेशंस? पनीर के साथ आप मेथी वगैरह डाल दीजिए तो आपकी सब्जी का भी काम हो गया और आपके कैल्शियम का भी काम हो गया, राइट? सो एक ही आइटम में 2 काम हो सकते हैं, इट इज पॉसिबल। या अगर आपको चिकन बनाना है तो आप मेथी चिकन बना लीजिए, तो आपका वेजिटेबल का भी काम हो गया, आपका प्रोटीन का भी काम हो गया, राइट? सो दिस इज द वे यू हैव टू प्लान योर मील। अब ये जो लास्ट छोटी सी उंगली है, दिस इज योर फैट्स एंड ऑयल्स। जब आप फैट्स एंड ऑयल्स लेते हैं तो ये आपको बहुत कम लेने, इसलिए छोटी उंगली में बात करते हैं उसके बारे में। रिक्वायरमेंट है आपकी 6 टीस्पून है दिन में। इसका मतलब कोई भी फ्राइड चीज आपको अवॉइड करनी चाहिए एंड बहुत ज्यादा घी भी लेने की जरूरत नहीं है। इट इज नॉट अ प्रेगनेंसी रिक्वायरमेंट। फर्स्ट ट्राइमेस्टर में जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि एक्स्ट्रा कैलोरीज की आपको जरूरत नहीं है। इस समय नौशिया आपको अनकंफर्टेबल करता है, तो इसीलिए आपको शायद कुछ खाने पीने का खास मन ना हो. यू मे नॉट फील लाइक ईटिंग, विच इज नॉर्मल, बट यू शुड बी एबल टू ईट समथिंग. आपको अपने आप को बिल्कुल हाइड्रेटेड रखना है. अगर आपको वॉमिटिंग वगैरह हो रही है तो पानी पीना मत छोड़िए. भले पूरा ग्लास भर के आप पानी एक टाइम पे नहीं पी सकते हो, बट आप थोड़ा थोड़ा करके, सिप सिप करके आप वाटर जरूर ले सकते हैं. ऑयली और स्पाइसी फूड्स को अवॉइड करें, बिकॉज इससे फीलिंग ऑफ नॉशिया बढ़ जाती है. छोटी छोटी मील्स आपको लेना है, जैसे सिंपल कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स, रोटी, राइस, टोस्ट. ये सारी चीजों से आपके स्टमक के जो जूसेस हैं, एसिड्स हैं, वो सेटल हो जाएंगे. फर्स्ट ट्राइमेस्टर में डॉक्टर ने आपको फॉलिक एसिड और मल्टीविटामिन प्रिस्क्राइब किया होगा. ये आपको 100% विदाउट फेल लेना है. फॉलिक एसिड इसीलिए देते हैं क्योंकि न्यूरल ट्यूब डिफेक्ट्स, जो बेबी के स्पाइनल कॉर्ड डिफेक्ट्स होते हैं, वो नहीं होते. तो फर्स्ट ट्राइमेस्टर से ही हम इसकी संभाल कर लेते हैं. एंड मल्टीविटामिन जस्ट क्योंकि अगर आपकी कोई डिफिशियंसी होगी तो वो टेक केयर हो जाएगी. अब सेकेंड ट्राइमेस्टर, जैसे हमने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस किया, ये कंफर्टेबल ट्राइमेस्टर है. अगर आप यहाँ पर बिंज ईट करेंगे, ओके नाउ आई कैन ईट एवरीथिंग, सो सब ले आओ, यू नो, छोले भटूरे, पूरी, चॉकलेट केक, मैं सब खा लूंगी. इससे आपका वेट गेन हो जाएगा. सो प्लीज सेंसिबल, यू हैव टू ईट सेंसिबल, राइट. फोकस ऑन ऑल द फूड ग्रुप्स. जैसे ये 5 फिंगर्स आपको मैंने बताया फॉर मेन मील्स, ब्रेकफास्ट, लंच एंड डिनर, यू शुड ऑलवेज इंक्लूड दिस, राइट. कोई भी जो फूड रिलेटेड मिथ्स है, इसके अंदर नहीं आना है. जैसे अब तो खाने का समय है, सब खा लो. अगर मीठा खाने का मन होता है तो खा लो, तुम्हारा दिल कर रहा है, बेबी का दिल कर रहा है, खा लो. सो ये हमको ध्यान रखना है, बिकॉज इवेंचुअली आज तो खा लेंगे, लेकिन अगर प्रेगनेंसी में कोई कॉम्प्लिकेशंस हुई, डिलीवरी के बाद वेट लॉस करने में डिफिकल्टी हुई, ये सारी चीजें आप ही को हैंडल करनी पड़ेगी. सो मिथ्स वगैरह से आप प्लीज दूर रहिए. जो भी आपको क्वेश्चंस हैं, सवाल हैं, you should always ask the doctor. Don't listen to 20 people who are giving you 100 bits of advice at home. अब थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर में बेबी तो पूरा फॉर्म हो गया है एंड सिर्फ मेनली ग्रोथ बाकी है. सो योर मेन फोकस इज गुड क्वालिटी प्रोटीन्स एंड हेल्दी कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स, राइट. यहाँ पे आपको आयरन रिच फूड्स लेने हैं, जिससे आपके हीमोग्लोबिन लेवल्स बढ़े और बेबी का भी ब्लड वॉल्यूम बढ़ रहा है. देयर इज अ स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक हियर, प्लीज एक्सक्यूज. इट्स आयरन रिच फूड्स. ओमेगा 3 का इनटेक आपको यहाँ पे इंक्रीज करना चाहिए. ओमेगा 3 इन सिंपल वर्ड्स इज आल्सो कॉल्ड DHA एंड इसको हम ब्रेन फूड भी बोलते हैं. सो यू शुड इंक्रीज योर इनटेक ऑफ ओमेगा 3. अगर डॉक्टर ने प्रिस्क्राइब किया है ओमेगा 3 का कैप्सूल, सो वेल एंड गुड, बट अगर नहीं तो यू कैन इंक्लूड फूड्स लाइक फ्लैक्स सीड्स, walnuts, avocados, all of these in your diet to ensure that you get enough omega 3. Fish also has a lot of omega 3, so अगर आप नॉन वेजिटेरियन हो तो आप फिश भी ले सकते हो. थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर में क्योंकि स्टमक आपका बढ़ गया है, यूट्रस बढ़ गया है, तो जगह कम हो जाती है डाइट के लिए. स्टमक में खाना भरने के लिए देयर इज लेस स्पेस, सो एपेटाइट विल रिड्यूस. इसीलिए आपको न्यूट्रिएंट डेंस फूड्स लेने हैं और स्मॉल पोर्शंस खाने हैं. वो एक जो आपकी मील है, जैसे अगर आप लंच में नॉर्मली आप रोटी, सब्जी, दाल, चावल, दही लेते थे, तो हो सकता है कि अभी आप पहले रोटी सब्जी खा लेंगे, उसके आधे पौने घंटे बाद आपने दाल चावल ले लिया और आधे घंटे बाद आप दही खा रहे हो, बिकॉज यू कांट ईट एवरीथिंग टुगेदर, और यू डोंट हैव द कैपेसिटी एंड योर स्टमक साइज हैज बिकम doesn't have the space to expand to take a full meal. ये प्रेगनेंसी के कुछ सुपर फूड्स हैं जो हम रेकमेंड करते हैं कि ऑल मदर्स शुड इंक्लूड इन देयर डाइट. स्वीट पोटैटोज के बदले में स्वीट पोटैटोज ले लीजिए, बिकॉज इसमें फाइबर, प्रोटीन वगैरह ज्यादा होता है एंड बी ग्रुप विटामिन भी ज्यादा होते हैं. एग्स अगर आप लेते हैं तो आप डेली एग्स खा सकते हैं. दे आर नॉट हीटी, बट रिकमेंडेशन ये है कि सिर्फ 1 एग येलो एंड बाकी आप एग वाइट्स ले लीजिए. सो अगर आपके ब्रेकफास्ट में आप ऑमलेट बना रहे हो फॉर एग्जांपल, तो आप 3 या 4 एग वाइट्स और 1 सिंगल एग येलो का ऑमलेट बना सकते हैं. Green leafy vegetables, जितनी आप लें उतनी कम है, मतलब you can have everything. So have your spinach, have your methi, have your broccoli, cabbage. All of these will come in the family of green leafy vegetables. Proteins में pulses, legumes and lean meat. इसका मतलब ये है कि we are not having the fat portion. तो चिकन फिश वगैरह का अगर आप स्किन उतार देंगे तो फैट लेयर निकल जाता है, which is good for you. So don't have the fat. बेरीज अभी सीजन में तो है, स्ट्रॉबेरीज वगैरह अच्छे से मिल रहे हैं, सो प्लीज कंज्यूम अ लॉट ऑफ दैट. दे आर वेरी रिच इन एंटीऑक्सीडेंट्स एंड ऑल ऑफ दिस इज गुड सपोर्ट फॉर द प्रेगनेंसी. जब सीजन ना हो, अगर आप अभी अर्ली प्रेगनेंसी है लेकिन अभी और 5-6 महीने हैं प्रेगनेंसी को, तो आप ड्राइड बेरीज भी ले सकते हैं, जैसे क्रैनबेरीज, मलबेरीज, ब्लूबेरीज, ये ड्राइड फॉर्म में भी पैकेट्स में मिलते हैं. सो यू कैन इंक्लूड दिस ऑल्सो इन योर डाइट ऑन अ रेगुलर बेसिस. ग्रेन्स आप होल ग्रेन्स चूज करें एंड रोज आपका ग्रेन चेंज कर दीजिए. मतलब आज गेहूं की रोटी है तो कल बाजरे की रोटी, फिर आपने ब्रेकफास्ट में एक दिन ओट्स लिया तो दूसरे दिन आप उपमा ले लीजिए. सो डोंट हैव द सेम थिंग एवरी डे. ट्राई टू हैव एज मच वैरायटी एज पॉसिबल. Avocados are very good fats, and as I told you, omega-3 में भी बहुत rich है. So you should include maybe half an avocado every day, or maybe 2-3 times a week. One avocado can be included in your diet. Dry fruits, nuts and seeds, ये आपके munchies हैं. जब भूख लगे तो you can definitely munch on these as well. ये कुछ foods हैं जो आपको avoid करने चाहिए all throughout your pregnancy, जैसे raw meat. अगर ऐसे लगे कि कुछ कच्चा है तो उसको मत खाइए, बिकॉज उससे इन्फेक्शन हो सकता है. सॉफ्ट चीजेस, जो रेगुलर चीज हमको मार्केट में मिलती है, दैट इज फाइन, यू नो, लाइक योर ब्रिटानिया, गो, ऑल ऑफ दीज आर ओके. बट जो फॉरेन चीजेस हैं जैसे ब्लू, ब्री वगैरह, ये आपको यू हैव टू अवॉइड, बिकॉज दीज आर सॉफ्ट चीजेस एंड दे कैन कॉज इन्फेक्शन. अनपेस्चराइज्ड मिल्क, जैसे अगर आपके घर के पास में तबेला है और आप फ्रेश दूध ले आते हो नॉर्मली, राइट नाउ ड्यूरिंग प्रेगनेंसी यू कांट हैव दैट. So you should have pasteurized milk only. Eggs अगर आप लेते हैं तो raw मत लीजिए, and ये क्या थोड़ा बहुत in some desserts and all it can sneak in. So be careful, like things like chocolate mousse etc. you should avoid. Fish is very healthy. I already mentioned that इसमें omega-3 है, but लेकिन it can also raise mercury levels. So twice or thrice a week if you consume fish, it's fine. But more than that, you should not have. Ajinomoto, which comes in Chinese food, can cause some birth defects. So it is a good idea to avoid it. Where अगर आप Chinese order भी कर रहे हैं तो clearly mention कर दीजिए that please do not put Ajinomoto in my food, because that is helpful for you and your baby. Caffeine, जो चाय, कॉफी या aerated drinks में होता है, we should avoid that as well. Little portion you can take, but as far as possible, as less as you can reduce it to. जो आदत होती है ना कि सुबह उठ के चाय पी ली, फिर 11 बजे चाय पी ली, फिर 2 बजे चाय पी ली, फिर 4 बजे चाय पी ली, वो ऑफिस स्टाइल में चाय और कॉफी से आपको दूर रहना चाहिए. अल्कोहल और ड्रग्स का कोई भी फॉर्म, जैसे सिगरेट, मैरिजुआना, ये सब आपको बिल्कुल अवॉइड करना है. एंड अगर आपके आसपास कोई स्मोक भी करता है तो यू शुड टेल देम टू गो अवे. यू नो, जैसे कभी कभी होता है कि फैमिली में हस्बैंड स्मोक करते हैं तो it's good for his health also, but at least right now second-hand smoke is also harmful for you. So you should not allow anyone to smoke near you in your house. Second trimester में ये और कुछ चीजें हैं जो आपको ध्यान रखनी चाहिए. Dental checkup is very important. So regular brushing, flossing, you can use a mouthwash and you should massage your gums. And इसके अलावा you should get a checkup from the doctor, because कई बार क्या होता है कि because of hormonal changes, the gums become swollen, they become enlarged, and that can cause a little bit of bleeding. It also means कि वहाँ पे plaque build-up हो रहा है, and that can cause preterm contractions. So a dental checkup and cleanup and proper dental hygiene during pregnancy is very important. चेकअप भी करवा लीजिए अगर आपका नंबर है. तो क्या होता है, दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव नोटिस्ड, यू नो, अगर किसी को थोड़ा सा नंबर है ड्यूरिंग प्रेगनेंसी, इट इंक्रीजेस, इट गोज अप, एंड बिकॉज इट गोज अप, दैट कैन बिकम अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ अ चैलेंज, राइट? एंड Sometimes you feel blurry vision, headache, I can't read really well. So we consider this as other symptoms. You know, if you tell the doctor I'm getting headache every time, then the solution is, oh, maybe your blood pressure is not proper, maybe your hemoglobin levels are low. So, you know, the treatment becomes different, but actually it's very simple. आपका number बढ़ गया है. So अगर आप prescription glasses पहनते हैं, lenses पहनते हैं, so please get your eye checkup done in the second trimester because 99% आपका number change हो गया है. So for during pregnancy, you might need another pair of glasses. कोई भी jarring movements जैसे ऑटो रिक्शाज वगैरह, मोटर बाइक, ये आपको अवॉइड करने हैं. बेबी का किक काउंट आपको मेंटेन करना चाहिए. जनरली हम नोटिस करते हैं कि 18 to 24 वीक्स के बीच में बेबी के मूवमेंट्स फील होना शुरू होते हैं. यू फील द मूवमेंट्स, राइट? शुरू में मूवमेंट्स ऐसे लगता है कि जैसे छोटी सी बटरफ्लाइज है या बबल्स है, एसिडिटी जैसी हो गई है, मतलब यू नो दैट काइंड ऑफ सेंसेशन इज देयर एंड आपको भी पता नहीं कि ये रियली हो रहा है कि नहीं. बट 24 वीक्स के बाद ये मूवमेंट्स काफी रेगुलर हो जाते हैं, स्ट्रॉन्ग हो जाते हैं एंड बाय 28 वीक्स यू फीलिंग एकदम यू नो किक्स एंड पंचेस. पर इतना आपको ध्यान रखना है कि सबके मूवमेंट सेम नहीं होते. ऑल बेबीज आर नॉट सेम, ऑल प्रेगनेंसीज आर नॉट सेम. आई गिव यू माय पर्सनल एग्जांपल. When I was pregnant with my son, he was like a, you know, woof all over the place. If you were sitting in front of me, you could see my stomach move. There were many times that people used to point at me and say, hey, your baby is moving. And I was like, yeah, I know. I can feel it. It's moving. Like my baby is moving right here. So my stomach used to move all over, like, you know, as if it had a life of its own. And it did, of course. Now, the second pregnancy was my daughter. And she was so lazy in the womb. She would barely, you know, even her father barely managed to feel the movements. And I used to be so worried because I had only experience of my first pregnancy. So I used to keep asking the doctor, can you please check? Can you please do an ultrasound? Can you please make sure that the baby is fine? And she used to actually tell me, please go away. We've just checked with the Doppler and everything is okay. This baby doesn't want to move the way your earlier one was. She would move, but she would not give you those kicks and punches. So the best thing to keep in mind is that 10 movements every day is what we are expecting. And sometimes if you feel that there are no movements, then you should probably have something sweet. Again, if all your sugar levels are normal, if your weight gain is in the normal range, then something sweet in a liquid form can actually help the baby to wake up. So try that. Okay. If there are any vaccinations which are required in the third trimester, then you should take care of that also, right? Here are some common myths that are there, like the dark line on the belly. This appears, it's called the linea nigra. And a lot of people say that, you know, अगर dark line आ गई है तो लड़का होगा और अगर लाइन नहीं है तो लड़की होगी. बट ये भी एक मिथ है. कोई जेंडर प्रेडिक्शन ऐसे नहीं हो सकता. जो लीनियर नाइग्रा है वो हार्मोनल चेंजेस की वजह से अपीयर होती है. 90% of women will get this, and because it's hormonal, in a few weeks after delivery it's going to disappear. So if 90% of women are going to get it, it doesn't mean that 90% of babies are male. That's going to make our world so boring, right? If there are less women. So it's important to not fall prey to this myth and don't worry if there is line, no line, and don't imagine that the line is going to result in a boy or a girl. Mothers जिनको एसिडिटी होती है, माना जाता है कि उनके बेबी के बाल बहुत हैं, राइट? जो बेबी के बाल वूम में ही बनते हैं and acidity symptoms become more severe with the appearance of the hair. अब इसमें एक छोटी सी सच्चाई भी मान सकते हैं. There was a small study, एक छोटी सी स्टडी की गई थी जिन्होंने मदर्स को इवेल्युएट किया था ड्यूरिंग प्रेगनेंसी along with all their symptoms, and then इनको कंपेयर किया था with the babies at birth कि उनके पास कितने बाल हैं, right? And this was found that babies which were born with a full head of hair had moms with more acid reflux during pregnancy. So this was a very small study, and it doesn't mean that, you know, it is conclusive. But okay, there's a little bit of validity there because of the small study, but it has not been conclusively proved. अब थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर में आपके कुछ ऐसे टेस्ट होते हैं जो आपको करवाने चाहिए. पहला है आपका अल्ट्रासाउंड. अब इस अल्ट्रासाउंड को हम ग्रोथ स्कैन बोलते हैं. सो ग्रोथ स्कैन आपका थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर में होगा, एंड बेसिकली इट्स डन टू एंश्योर दैट द बेबी इज ऑन ट्रैक. कोई ग्रोथ रिटार्डेशन नहीं है. सो यू शुड एंश्योर दैट ये वाला भी स्कैन आप रूटीन जैसे 32 वीक्स के आसपास द डॉक्टर विल रेकमेंड इट, सो गेट इट डन. Blood tests for infectious diseases. These are hospital protocols that, the hepatitis B, hepatitis HIV, ये सारे टेस्ट दोबारा करवाए जाते हैं ताकि अगर कोई इन्फेक्शन है तो हॉस्पिटल एडमिशन के पहले ये टेस्ट हो जाना चाहिए. So accordingly, the protocol has to be followed. Even if you test positive, don't worry, the doctor will still take care of you, but they have to take care of certain protocols. आयरन, थायराइड वगैरह का फिर से ब्लड टेस्ट हो जाता है बिकॉज आयरन लेवल्स थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर में डेफिनेटली ड्रॉप होते हैं. सो डॉक्टर वांट्स टू रिपीट दीज टेस्ट्स. मोस्ट डॉक्टर्स विल गिव यू टेटनस वैक्सीनेशन. ये थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर में 2 डोजेस में दिया जाता है, 7th and 8th मंथ. कोई डॉक्टर 6th और 7th मंथ में भी दे देते हैं, विच इज कम्प्लीटली ओके. इस वैक्सीनेशन की जब 2 डोजेस हो जाते हैं, वैलिडिटी 2 years की होती है. So you don't have to worry, right? कि मेरे डॉक्टर ने 5th मंथ में दे दिया, मेरे डॉक्टर ने 6th मंथ में दिया, मेरे डॉक्टर ने तो 6th मंथ तक बात ही नहीं की, 7th मंथ में दिया. So it's all okay, right? Basically क्या होता है, during labor there are certain instruments etc. which are used, and this can cause the tetanus toxoid infection, and therefore all mothers are given this tetanus vaccination to keep you safe. The Tdap vaccination is a whooping cough vaccination, which is generally given in the third trimester after 32 weeks. Whooping cough के symptoms भी cough, flu वगैरह के जैसे होते हैं. And also when the mother takes the Tdap vaccination during pregnancy, it gives protection to the baby post-delivery also. So check in with your doctor. If the doctor is preferring it, you can consider this as a vaccination. It has been started to be discussed more now in the COVID situation, so that if there are common symptoms, we are not worrying about, whether it is whooping cough or it is something else. Third trimester में आपको Braxton Hicks contractions भी feel होंगे. Now these Braxton Hicks contractions are called fake contractions because they don't open the uterus. तो कभी-कभी ऐसा feel होगा कि the stomach is really tight and then it relaxes, and then it's tight and then it relaxes, and that's completely normal. So this is a uterine exercise. As long as it is short, it is painless, and there is no pattern. You may feel a little tightness in the morning, and then it's okay, and then it happens in the evening. There is no regularity, there is no pattern. Sometimes you feel it, sometimes you don't. Some women even say that I don't feel anything. I never felt. What are Braxton Hicks contractions? All is normal. As long as there is no regular pain, regular cramps in the stomach, we are not worried. Leg cramps जो रात में आते हैं, when I'm sleeping, suddenly my calf becomes really tight and becomes really hard. That is something which first is because of less water. हम पानी कम पीते हैं because we are very worried about urination. So make sure that you have enough water. The second thing could be lack of exercise. So अगर आपको allowed है, so you should make sure that you go for your walks. You should do some leg exercises so that your circulation is good. The third reason is कि अगर आप रात में AC या पंखे के नीचे directly सोते हैं without covering your legs, so circulation slow हो गई है, plus रात के time पे metabolism is slow, so you're colder, your blood becomes a little cooler, so it slows down, right? And that can cause. So I would recommend कि leggings वगैरह पहन लीजिए, बहुत tight नहीं, but leggings या pajamas, and wear a comforter at night, so that can be very helpful. Okay? Baby की position के बारे में भी बात करेंगे, जो वो अगले स्लाइड में मैं आपको पोजीशंस दिखा दूंगी कि कैसे होते हैं पोजीशंस. As the pregnancy is progressing, the uterus is increasing in size, so back pain भी increase होता. Please remember your posture, and again, if you are allowed to, you should start doing your back exercises now for sure. अगर आपको swelling होती है या fluid retention होती है, जैसे आपके fingerings आपको fit नहीं हो रहे, so you should immediately inform your doctor, right? Because what happens is कि हम लोग डॉक्टर से तो once in 15 days, third trimester में once in 15 days मिल रहे हैं, that may not be enough, right? So when you see the doctor, everything was okay, and next day से fluid retention शुरू हो गया, हाथ सूजे हुए हैं, face सूजा हुआ है, so you are saying, okay, I'll show the doctor the next visit, but वो 2 weeks में this fluid retention could be because of excessive blood pressure, it could be because of other pregnancy complications, and वो increase होते जाते हैं. So अगर आपको fluid retention हो रहा है या swelling हो रही है या सूजन हो रही है, तो ये आपको डॉक्टर को immediately बताना चाहिए. You should not wait कि I'll show at the next visit, because आपकी next visit 15 दिन के बाद होती है in the 3rd trimester. अगर फ्लूइड रिटेंशन सिर्फ पैरों में है, सो देन यू कैन रेज योर लेग्स लाइक दिस, राइट? जब बोलते हैं कि पैर ऊपर करने हैं, तो हम जनरली क्या एक पिलो रख के पैर ऊपर कर देते हैं, दैट इज नॉट गुड इनफ. आपको पैर इस तरह से 90 डिग्रीज ऊपर करने चाहिए. सो दैट इज व्हाट इज रेकमेंडेड ड्यूरिंग योर प्रेगनेंसी. तो 10 to 15 मिनट, जैसे अगर आप वर्किंग है, आप पूरा दिन स्टैंड करते हैं और शाम के टाइम पे पैर बिल्कुल पकोड़े के जैसे फूल रहे हैं, सो देन यू शुड बी एलिवेटिंग योर फीट फॉर 10 to 15 minutes like this. Basic idea is that the feet have to be elevated above the heart level, ताकि फ्लूइड आपका प्रॉपरली नीचे आ जाए और पैरों में सूजन ना हो. हाथ और मुंह वगैरह में, फेस में सूजन नहीं होनी चाहिए. लिटिल बिट ऑफ स्वेलिंग इन द फीट, अगर वो सेटल हो जाती है विद एलिवेशन, then we are not very worried and not very concerned. ये है आपके बेबी के पोजिशंस. जैसे अगर बेबी का हेड डाउन है तो ये नॉर्मल डिलीवरी के लिए बिल्कुल फेवरेबल है, बट लेकिन अगर ब्रीच प्रेजेंटेशन है या अगर बेबी अपना फेस नीचे करके बैठा है, जैसे अगर आप देखेंगे फर्स्ट पिक्चर में द बेबी, जो ये वाली पिक्चर है, बेबीज हेड इज कंप्लीटली फ्लेक्स्ड इन दिस डायरेक्शन, कि बेबी का चिन उसके चेस्ट को है. लेकिन ये वाले पिक्चर में अगर आप देखेंगे, द डिफरेंस इज द बेबीज हेड इज फ्लेक्स्ड इन दिस डायरेक्शन एंड द चिन इज अवे फ्रॉम द चेस्ट वॉल. तो दिस इज कॉल्ड अ फेस और अ ब्राउ प्रेजेंटेशन, व्हिच इज आल्सो नॉट फेवरेबल फॉर अ नॉर्मल डिलीवरी. अगर बेबी इस तरह से हॉरिजॉन्टली लेटा हुआ है तो वो पेल्विस से बाहर आ ही नहीं पाएगा. तो दिस इज आल्सो नॉट फेवरेबल फॉर अ नॉर्मल डिलीवरी. तो बाय 32 वीक्स आपके बेबी का पोजीशन सेट होना शुरू होता है. यू कैन डिस्कस विद योर डॉक्टर. अगर आपको पोजीशंस वगैरह में कुछ दिक्कत आ रही है तो सम एक्सरसाइजेस आर पॉसिबल टू ट्राई टू encourage and turn the baby. These exercises are safe, but you have to consult the doctor before you start doing them. But be alert that by week 32 the baby starts taking position for birth. अभी 3rd trimester में भी कुछ myths होते हैं, right? A lot of people feel that as long as the delivery happens in the 9th month, मतलब 35 weeks is the start of the 9th month, right? So 35 weeks के बाद अगर delivery होगी, 9वां महीना लग गया तो it's considered to be normal. But full term जो हम लोग मानते हैं, it is after you complete week 37. So labor which starts between week 37 to week 42 is normal. But 40 weeks के बाद we have to be on constant check. We cannot wait comfortably at home. We should be checking the baby every day, depending on what the doctor prefers. Heart rate, blood flow, maybe some non-stress test, etc. will be done if we are waiting beyond 40 weeks. Anything before 37 weeks is considered as preterm labor. So we don't want the baby to be born that early. Okay? During pregnancy and this period, it is really important that you should trust your body and trust yourself, right? These are very normal and physiological changes, and it's your instincts, right, as to what your body will need. Trust in nature and allow yourself during pregnancy and the postpartum period to have a most relaxing and enjoyable experience. This is something which is very important as far as pregnancy is concerned, as far as post-delivery is concerned. If you are stressed out, if you are anxious, if you are worried, it can become a little bit of a challenge because a mother who is stressed out is going to result in stress in the baby. The stress hormones are flowing to the baby also. So every day you should ensure that you are smiling, you are happy, you are relaxed. If you have any concerns, share it with your family, share it with your husband, share it with your partner, because only then your pregnancy will be an enjoyable experience.
When is a parent born? When your world changes in a moment. Nani? Or when the moment is celebrated by all. When you start learning again. Or with a new role. Is it your child's first breath? Or is it just a feeling? Parents are born when they fulfill a responsibility.
Your child's umbilical cord blood can provide protection from 80 life-threatening diseases. Keep it safe with Asia's largest stem cell bank, Cord Life. One chance, one choice.
So that was from Cord Life. जैसे मंगेश जी ने आपको starting में बताया that Cord Life is a stem cell bank, is one of the leading stem cell banks in India today. If you would like to learn more about stem cell banking, then you can get in touch with the Cord Life team for a presentation, and they will help you with the same. Nowadays, as he also mentioned, the presentations are done via Zoom calls, via Google Meet, etc. So it's a very safe method, and you can learn a little bit more and educate yourself about it, so you can make the right decision on whether it is something that you would like for your family. So take the opportunity and book your presentation. As I told you that आपके लिए एक gift option भी है as far as today is concerned. So all the mamas and papas who are here in the session today, the Cord Life team आपके साथ touch में रहेगी. ये gift coupon देने के लिए आपको. This is from Mom to Be and Cord Life. So Mom to Be is a brand जो maternity के लिए बहुत सारी चीजें बनाता है, whether it's maternity pants, maternity clothes, tops, and even things like sleeping pillows and etc. So ये सारी चीजें आपको इनके थ्रू मिल सकती हैं. And अगर आप थोड़ा सा indulgence करना चाहते हैं, अपने आप को थोड़ा सा pamper करना चाहते हैं, so you can get in touch with the Mom to Be website and use your coupon and avail of this discount. These are books which are available in the market. I am the author. I have written these books. The first one is Prenatal Fitness, which has exercises for pregnancy and post-delivery with explanation and pictures. So more than 100 exercises, also exercises with your husband during pregnancy, exercises with your baby post-delivery. And of course, diet charts and etc. The whole idea is fitness. Parenting Mantras is my most latest book, which talks about all the common concerns that parents face with a newborn. So from breastfeeding to weaning to toilet training to teething, lot of little tidbits and practical solutions have been offered. And then when your baby is eating solids, you can consider picking up the Super Moms Recipes book. So all of these books are available on Amazon, and you can look them up, and it would be my privilege to be a part of your book library. I'm going to keep the floor open for questions now so that you can get all your queries answered. I have also put some contact details on the screen right now. So my personal website address, Facebook and Instagram ID, and you can kind of stay in touch there as well. You can follow, and we do a lot of fun stuff on the pages. I have a channel on YouTube known as the Pregnancy Coach by Baby 360 Degrees. So that is also something that you should subscribe to, because there's pregnancy and parenting information there, and I post a new video almost every week. And I also run a free pregnancy WhatsApp tips group. So if you would like to be a part of that, you can send a message to this number and somebody will add you to it. Just say free tips group for pregnancy as a WhatsApp message. Okay. The other numbers that are there on the screen are the numbers of the Cord Life team. So the gift voucher and the recording of this session If you by chance don't get a call from the team, of course they will call you, but in case they don't, then you should make a note of these numbers. And also, if you would like to book your presentation, then these are the numbers that will be helpful. So we've given you all the options. So there's a number that you can call on, there's a number that you can WhatsApp on, there's a toll-free number, so no charges, and there is an SMS number as well. So whatever you find comfortable, please make a note of that so that you can get in touch with whoever you need for your pregnancy requirements. Okay. So I'm going to open up the floor to questions. I hope you put in a lot of questions for me. And if you have not, then you can start posting your questions in the question box, and I'll make sure that I answer them before I close the session. Okay, so the first question that I have is, the first sonogram in the first trimester is usually done at which week? So generally the first sonogram is done as soon as you go to the doctor. Once the blood test shows positive, then the doctor will do the sonogram. So suppose if you've done your pregnancy test at home in the 5th week of your pregnancy, and in the 6th week you got your blood test done. By the time you meet your doctor, it's almost 6 or 7 weeks. So then the sonogram is done at that point of time. The main reason for doing the sonogram is to confirm the pregnancy, to make sure that it's a single pregnancy, and just see if the fetal heartbeat and all has started. So that's generally the requirement in the first trimester. 6 to 7 weeks is generally when the doctor would do it, depending on when you have turned up. The next question is full fat milk or toned milk. So if you were to actually look at the food labels of full cream milk and toned milk or skimmed milk, the only difference is the fat content. So we don't require that much fat during pregnancy. We predominantly should ideally take toned milk or skimmed milk, because the protein and the calcium, the reasons why we're having milk, are taken care of even in slim milk and toned milk. So please go ahead and only have toned milk or skimmed milk. You don't need the thick milk or the very thick buffalo milk during pregnancy. Okay. How safe is consumption of whole wheat bread during pregnancy? So you can take it. It's absolutely safe. However, one of the things that we would recommend is that don't have bread as your main source of carbohydrates. Right? So if you've had bread for breakfast, then you should not have bread for lunch and dinner. So for example, if you know that, tonight we're making pav bhaji for dinner, and you're going to be having a wheat pav probably, then for your breakfast, you should have, either upma, poha, chilla, or something like that. So you try to space your consumption of bread out. Don't make bread as the only whole and soul of your meal during pregnancy and breastfeeding as well. Okay, I have a mother who's done IVF and has got a positive result just 2 days back. The serum beta HCG levels. Okay. Yes, that is in terms of the way the HCG levels go, they should double by this point of time. But we will still not consider it as negative. We will wait for the next test to kind of, decide on this. As I told you, as part of the presentation also, that the stick test that we do can be sometimes false positive or false negative. So it's not 100% reliable, and therefore these blood tests are done. It's still early in pregnancy. If the HCG levels are rising and if the yolk sac is seen, then the doctor can also give you certain hormones which will help to, boost the pregnancy and support the pregnancy. So let's wait for a few more days and let's follow what the doctor's instructions are in this area. Okay. Is mild spotting normal during first trimester? What should one take as an alarm? Okay. So here's what happens, right? When the pregnancy happens, there's a single embryo which is formed. It gets formed in the fallopian tubes, and then by the 4th or the 5th day of your pregnancy, it travels from the fallopian tubes into the uterine environment. Now, in the uterine environment, it will float around for a couple of days here and there, and then it will find a spot where it will implant. So the placenta will implant. At the time of implantation, basically the placenta kind of digs into the uterine wall and gets stuck. Now, when that happens, there is a little bit of bleeding in that area. It's little bit, and it can stay inside the uterus for a while. It can take a few days to travel outside the uterus. So some mothers by 6-7 weeks might see a little brownish discharge, which is considered normal. If it feels like the start of a period, if it kind of feels bright red, then that is a sign of alarm, and you should immediately let your doctor know. Especially if you're getting cramps also, then that also becomes more of an alarming sign. Okay, is it normal to do normal walk during the first trimester? Yes, ma'am. It's normal to do all your exercises if everything feels normal. But when I'm saying all my exercises, of course, if I'm a tennis player, I should stop because that can give a big jerk to the abdomen if the ball hits and etc. But yes, you can continue walking if you have no negative symptoms in the pregnancy. Okay. Yeah, I can understand. See, ma'am, when especially with IVF, because you've taken so many hormones, etc., your moods are also not in the best state of affairs. So you should discuss this with your husband. You should kind of talk to somebody. You should try to keep your mind occupied. Sometimes IVF can take a while. One cycle may not, really work. There are times, and I'm not saying this to discourage you, but there are times where parents do multiple cycles and give up and then get pregnant naturally. So just relax, wait and watch, and see how things progress from this point onwards. Okay. The best solution to avoid stretch marks as per the Mumbai climate. Okay, so as far as stretch marks are concerned, let me tell you that they are hereditary. So most mothers who kind of have that in their genes in terms of the way their skin is, etc., will get stretch marks. What are stretch marks? As the uterus is growing, the stomach is also stretching. So the skin on the abdomen stretches, can't stretch anymore, and finally will tear. And this tear is what is a stretch mark, right? So from the 12th week onwards of pregnancy, all the way till 6 months post delivery. So that's the range. Okay, you should apply a vitamin E based oil or lotion or cream. These are easily available in the market. Some of the brands that are there are Bio Oil, Palmer's Cocoa Butter, Mannequin Vitamin E Oil. So these are options which are available in the market. You can use them. Now we also have Mama Earth, Mom's Co, some of these brands which are coming up with good stretch mark options for your pregnancy. I would recommend that you should apply it twice a day, abdomen, breast, and buttocks. Preferably apply it after a shower because that's when your skin is moist and absorption of the cream, lotion, oil will be better, right? If you feel like, you can also make something at home. So use extra virgin cold pressed coconut oil, and in that you should break up the vitamin E capsules. There's gel inside that capsule. You can break it up and you can put it into the oil, mix it. It can be stored in the refrigerator for a few days, and you can apply this at night, again on abdomen, breast, and buttocks. Internally, you should keep yourself well hydrated, so have plenty of water because that will help to keep your skin hydrated as well. And the other thing that you should also do is eat lots of fresh fruits and vegetables. When you're doing that, you're improving your own collagen levels, and collagen is what helps to keep the skin elastic, soft, and supple, so it will be able to stretch a little better. So these are some of the tips that you can use to take care of your stretch marks. Okay. How do you calculate pregnancy weeks? So the way we calculate pregnancy weeks is we start from the last day of your menstrual cycle. So for example, if my period started on the 1st of January, my first week of pregnancy is considered to be 1st to 7th January. That is considered my first week. Okay, pregnancy is 40 weeks, which is 9 months and 7 days. So if my period date was 1st January and I'm calculating 9 months, it's going to be 9 months plus 7 days. So January to February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, 1st October. Once I reach 1st October, on this I have to add 7 days. So my due date then becomes 7th October. That's how the calculation is done. You can also go reverse to recalculate backwards if there are these auspicious days that you're trying to figure out, 7th month and 8th month and etc. So when you put it down on the calendar, you can go reverse as well. So from your expected due date that the doctor has given, you minus 7 days, that becomes your 39th week. You minus another 7 days, that becomes your 38th week, and then so on and so forth. So you can go forward from your last menstrual period date and keep adding 7 days, and then, or you can go backwards from the expected due date that was given to you right in the very beginning, and go backwards and minus 7 days, and that's how your weeks can get calculated. There's another date that is being given to you when you do your ultrasound. So I'm always using the LMP date. I am not using the ultrasound date for this calculation. What happens in the ultrasound is that the baby's growth is being observed, and it's an observation, right? So as per the growth, the doctor will date the pregnancy. So some babies might grow a little faster, some babies might grow a little slower, some babies may grow on time. All of this is normal. So plus or minus 15 days changes in your dates from your LMP date is completely normal. If there is anything more than that, so if the baby is growing too fast, right? So maybe your expected due date as per LMP was 7th October. And now in your ultrasound, it's saying, oh, your expected due date has become 10th September. So it's gone way more than 15 days. Then that becomes a problem and a cause for concern. It could be that the baby you have developed some sugar levels, gestational diabetes, baby's growing too rapidly, there's some abnormality, right? Or alternatively, your due date as per LMP was 7th October. And in your last scan, the due date as per the ultrasound is now showing as 23rd October. So it's more than 15 days. And that again is a problem, because what happens now is that the baby is not growing adequately. There is some growth issue. So maybe the placenta is not giving enough nutrition. Maybe the umbilical arteries are getting crimped. So there could be some issue, and that has to again be addressed. So 15 days plus or minus from your due date is considered okay. There's one thing I'd really like to share with you is that most first-time mothers will deliver about 7 to 10 days before their due date. And if you are a second-time mother, most second-time mothers will deliver closer to the due date, because that's how the system is. In the first time, your body is all tight. So as the baby grows, there's a lot of stretching that the body does and puts a lot of pressure on the pelvis and the cervix and the uterus and etc. So most likely is that the delivery will happen a little earlier. But when it's a second time mother, the uterus, pelvis, everything's already all stretched out. So the pressure is lesser. And so therefore second time babies last till due date in most cases. If there are any more questions, I'd be really happy to answer them. And I would again like to take this opportunity to thank all of the management at Sai Snehadeep Hospital. Thank you to Dr. Shweta Upadhyay, Dr. Rekha Kaushal for giving us this opportunity. Thank you to CODLIFE for organizing this session. And thank you to Mom2B for being a part of the gift voucher of this session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Moms, if there are any feedback that you would like to share related to the session, please do share it. It helps us in our learning. And also just a gentle reminder, all the contact details for my social media as well as the CODLIFE team are still on the screen. So please make a note of them so that you can stay in touch. And
so shall we end the session, ma'am?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, so thank you so much for all the participants for coming and joining us for this wonderful session. I hope you have gathered a lot of information regarding do's and don'ts during pregnancy and the most valuable feedback and the question answer session that we have seen. So on a Sunday morning, it is really difficult to join a session like this, but you all came and you joined and you participated in that. So thank you so much for that. Here we are ending the session, and at the end, I would like to say, okay, stem cell banking is one time, one chance. Only during pregnancy you can do stem cell banking. So please do take out some time and see the presentation online or physically. You can meet up and see the presentation. Thank you so much for coming. Take care.
When is a parent born? When your world changes in a moment. Nani? Or when the moment is celebrated by all. When you start learning again. Or with a new role. Is it your child's first breath? Or is it just a feeling? Parents are born when they fulfill a responsibility.
Your child's umbilical cord blood can provide protection from 80 life-threatening diseases. Keep it safe with Asia's largest stem cell bank, Cord Life. One chance, one choice.